we go. Carry. Shows it started. Here we go, the commercial thing. All right, there we go. Good evening, everybody. I'll give it a second for everybody to come on. Good evening, good evening. Hope everybody's doing good. Brother Chris. Lost in the house. All right. We'll give it a second more, everybody. If you guys would put where you're from, appreciate it. This is all family here. Definitely appreciate you. Eldon in the house. Tucson in the house. Brother Rob. We got Martin. Brother Fatlack. Brother Nolan. What's good? Can't wait to see how everything turns out. My brother John in the house. Travis in the house. Colorado. Brother Larry. Rio Rancho. Brother Jim. Of course, Rudy in the house here. And I'm gonna, Brother David, Bakersfield, LV Custom, Kansas City, appreciate you. Evan, thank you guys for your support too. Appreciate you guys. Brother Steve, Mr. Wim in the house, Brother Jaime, Travino. I noticed a lot of you guys went and definitely went to my brother Mr. Wim's page, checking out his work on Instagram. Definitely some amazing work. Pinstripe patterns, all of it. He does everything. We're talking patterns on saws, panels, whatever it is. Skateboards. Randy in the house. North Dakota. Appreciate you guys. My brother Chris too, I seen him. I asked this from here. Man, I almost want to change up what I want to share tonight. The magazine I want to share because he's on here, which I will. Give me just 1 second. All right, sorry for the delay, everybody. You know, I've been trying to share every week something in the magazine. I see my brother Chris was on here. His graffiti name of Lost. And of course, this is the best of radicals. This would be 2006. Man, of course, you know, a lot of the radicals have kind of stopped. You know, a lot of work. A lot of different vehicles. Of course, Orgullo Mexicano. And so in this one, we had Rolling Malo. Some of the work was done by Derek Jagaru, his mom and dad. Some of the mods, it had competed the year before, and the year after, he had brought it to us, and we did a whole bunch of new stuff to it. This ended up Lowrider of the Year 2 times, Rolling Malo, and of course it had frame. You know, hopefully you can see this good. You know, the frame was juiced, the body from the frame. I cut the quarter panel, and Brother Rick Flores juiced it to where the quarter panel went back, and through corners, through a side. You know, me and my dad had both did the roof on it with actuators. It didn't have a roof the year before. And of course the doors were done already, but we molded the whole front clip, molded the inside out. It had gaps in it before. And this car would be one of the first cars that would have Sharpie. We called it, honestly, it's more like graffiti, Sharpie art. My brother Lost, Pesa, and of course Casket. Ray had done a lot of work on it, you know, pattern wise. Let me tell you, like I say, my brother Lost is on here. It had amazing Sharpie. You see so many people doing Sharpie now. It had Sharpie on it all the way down the whole side in a small section, and we candied over it. So cool. And it went all through the firewall, all through the fenders, through the door of Pesa. It did some work on the inside with Sharpie and candied over it. And you see a lot of people doing that. But you can see some of my brother Chris's work. He's on the chat right now. You know, I mean, just collage, different skulls with Dayton's, with, I mean, just different, way cool stuff. All with Sharpie. Hours and hours coming after work and spending a lot of time on it, doing that. And of course, we had to build this car. We had to build this car in 3 months and have it ready for the Super Show. And it was competing against Orgullo Mexicano. At that time, that would have been 2003, 2004. And like I say, we had to kick some serious butt. Frame off. I mean, everything off. Went and changed the whole back. When he juiced the whole back, had to get everything re-chromed. Dominic Archuleta did the stereo in it. Like I said, man, a lot of work on it. So, like I say, you know, I want to share every week something that, you know, I've done just to show you guys. A lot of you guys don't know, you know, the history. And, you know, this even had spinning pumps. The pumps would spin and the rim would spin. You know, you know, like I say, a lot of work on these cars back then. A lot of work. And like I say, man, we had to kick some serious butt on this. So that's something I wanted to share. I was going to be sharing, you know, I was going to be sharing something else with you guys. I'll share that next week, turning heads. But yeah, this literally car of the year 2003, I think in 2005. Lowrider of the year out of Texas. So definitely wanted to share that. And so we are part 2 from last week. What's happening, everybody? Looks like my brother Alameda's on here. Jay, brother John, brother Steve, John, Orlando, Cordell, Lauren. What's happening, Lauren? My brother Vince, Alejandro from Iowa. Appreciate you, my brother, tuning in. So of course, part 2 last week. This is some of the hardest stuff to do. Is to do these turns, to do this kind of freestyle. It's not your usual symmetrical designs, you know, where you can lay out one side and you can literally mirror it. You know, and I thought about this week about even doing the other gold board I had and mirroring this, but then because I put the blessed this direction, I was like, man, I can't really do that. But you know, I did, and this ain't even really I didn't do really much to this. The only thing I did, it ended here. I did a little turn here, and I added a little thing there, and that's it. So I'm still gonna tape. This is basically where we left off last week. Yeah, my brother Chris. Yep. Thanks for the shout out, my brother. Definitely, brother. Definitely, always love for you, my brother. And brother Chris, that's on here, man, well-known graffiti artist here in Albuquerque. And like I say, I always have so much respect for just that art. And I've always incorporated that art into the patterns. You know, you got to think New Attraction, all graffiti. Casanova, when it was a 3-time world champion, all graffiti. That's all with tape with fine line in there. It's my how would you put it? It's my salute to all the graffiti artists out there. And just like I say, much love. And let me tell you, I can't even do that. I'll go and blast out and go do some things. And it's like, that's just not my thing, man. I wish it was. Man, I've went out with so many people, and man, it's just one of those things, you know, some people are blessed with the gift to be able to do this or to do that, and some people aren't. And you got to really practice, like we always talk about. You know, if you're playing guitar and you want to play, but you know, the Lord really didn't give you that gift, you're going to have to practice 7 days a week, every day, just to be mediocre. And you know, that applies just to everything. You know, some things God gifted you with this talent, and it's just, it just flows. It just, you know, it just comes natural. You know what I mean? So like I say, you know, I want to continue to encourage everybody. All right, from New Zealand, my brother Vlad. Love learning new tape techniques. I appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate it. Brother Tunes in the house. Linda in the house. So, like I say, I'm going to still do some more taping. Like I told you last week, man, after I stopped, let me tell you, I wish I wouldn't have stopped the live last week. I should have just kept going, but it is what it is. And so I still got some taping to do on this. You know, this is going to turn out cool. We're going to do root beer brown, tangerine orange, and candy gold on this. So, like I say, I'm going to do a little bit more taping on it. And let me grab some of my tape. I appreciate you guys tuning in for sure. Doing graffiti in the 1986. Yep, definitely a big tool for today's great works. It sure is, my brother. Brother Sean in the house from Michigan. I appreciate you too, my brother Sean. Thank you for the order too, brother. Appreciate it, man. So I'm going to come in. Like I say, I hate to keep empty space. Like I say, with this, ins and outs, turning around, this is one of the hardest styles. And, you know, everybody does it a different way. And, you know, I kind of wanted to show too. We'll see. Let me tape this. So I'm going to tape a fade, 1/2-inch fade in here. This will be some detail. Like I say, last week when I stopped, I was like, oh man, I was like, whole bunch of different ideas coming to my head, but I'd already had it. And I know the week before, man, we were on here for 3 hours and 40 minutes. This will be a 3 shade. I'm shaky. If I can do it, you can do it. Coming in with that 1/2-inch. So I'm going to do a fade there, or a shade. More like it'll be a shade tonight. Same thing here. I'm going to do the same thing, a 1/2 inch of this line here. All of this is just basically adding some detail to it. So we got that there. Then I'm going to come in with 3M 1/2 inch. No clear yet, my brother Tunes. The order is in. He's doing all the packaging, and I'm hoping it's going to be shipped out to me next week and will be available the week after. It's crazy too. You got to go to even ship you know, to ship paint, you know, of course, aka hazardous materials, you got to go through a little training through FedEx or through UPS to be able to even ship. And basically, it's just them teaching how to package things right. And that's just stuff you don't even realize, the things that people got to go through to make it happen. So I'm excited though. I appreciate you guys too, support when I do get it. Like I say, all of this is just going to add some detail. Same thing, I'm going to come over here. Brother Manuel, is it clear? Is the same for the flake and for the finish. FedEx blows, he said. I know what's sad though, honestly, you only have a couple of options, my brother, where it's UPS or FedEx that ships hazardous material. Otherwise, man, it's like a whole, if you go through anybody else, it's an arm and a leg to ship anything. You got to make it affordable for you guys as far as shipping. And I know most, like, let's say, like, I know House of Colors uses FedEx. Trying to think. I think Orion uses FedEx. Quite a few. I think even Tammy and them use FedEx. For material-wise, that's kind of the way to go. Hey, Rob, I figured this out. Laugh out loud. There you go, Brother Eric. I know some of you guys, from sending me pics, some of you guys follow along while I'm doing it. Man, I've seen, like I say, some beautiful work. I appreciate you guys continuing to send me what you're working on. You know, most of you on here, I have your phone number. And like I say, I appreciate it. It's a blessing to see what you guys are working on. It's just crazy how many people are pumped about doing this. So same thing here. I'm coming in with the 1/4 inch fade or shade. This will be more of a shade. Just for accent, for detail. Like I say, I'm shaky. If I can do it, you can do it. This one I'm gonna actually have it just kind of come to a point up that there. So that one you're gonna barely see. Like I say, there's so many things you can do too. I mean, there's so many things. We could have came up here with the tape to accent. I mean, it's just so many things you can do. Brother JR in the house. The leather man. Okay, so then I'm going to come in, and then this, you could either, I'm going to just kind of accent up here. Let me get, so this, you could either eye it up here, or you could eye it, or you could put a piece of tape, like I always show you guys, if you guys are trying to get, you know, if you're trying to get super accurate, depending on what you're trying to do, and depends on what you're trying to do. You know, I'm going to put an 1/8 against that. And just to give you an example, you can run this 1/2 inch just to kind of give you a nice measurement for your 1/8 inch. I'm not caring about those wrinkles right there. So I'm going to come in, since I got the J tape right there, I'm going to come in with the 3M green 1/8 inch just right here. Like I say, this, I usually eye it, but I'm trying to show you guys, if you're trying to really get it a 1/2 inch away, you could come and measure it with the 1/2 inch. And then just kind of run that along that edge. And then of course, I'm gonna come back real quick. Cut it right here, cut it right here. Take this off, take this off. Like I say, this is just literally just for a measurement. Against that right there. And then same thing, if I'm gonna go up that way, whatever's gonna end up happening there, same thing if I wanted to just accent it here. Trying to keep it a 1/2 inch away. That there, and then come back with your 1/8 inch. Like I say, you're just really using that as a guide. Same thing, I'm gonna cut this here. Good evening, everybody. My brother from the Res. That's what I'm talking about. Brother Dale in the house. Is that just regular masking tape? Yeah, it's just regular masking tape, Sean. All of this on here. It's J tape. It's 3M. The 233 Plus. And the J tape. Masking tape. 160 degrees. All of these are on the website. And the website link is in the description. Got just about every size you can think on there. And I'm pretty much, I'm out of 16th and 1mm. I got a huge order coming. But everything else I got, of course, I do have 16th in vinyl, orange and green. I have everything vinyl in 1/8, quarter, half, masking tape in 1/8, in quarter, and 1/2 inch, 3M, J tape. A bunch of the low tack. So we got there, and you could do different things. Like I could have ran this through, and we could have did to where this is literally swooping through. And of course it'll go in and out. Your basics of in and out. And then same thing here. I'm gonna do kind of a border along this, same thing. And I am, of course, on this one, you know what, we will. So this would be, you know, you could just wing it. Like I say, just to wing it, or you could put, like I say, if you're trying to really get to where everything's good, run this 1/2 inch right along the edge to wherever you're trying to run it, which I'm going to only run it there. And then same thing, come in. Same thing, cut it, measure it. You can eye it or measure it. And stuff like this, I mean, like personally, and there's things I will measure. And then like I told you guys, a lot of stuff in the past, man, almost everything you ever seen me do in the past, man, it was just eyed as good as I could get it. You know, thank you for that tip. I made a huge mistake yesterday on taping, like an hour of work mistake. Yeah, so this, I mean, that's definitely a guide just to help make things a little quicker. So same thing, I'm going to come. Let me see. We'll do that right there. Like I say, this is all just background. There's so many things you could do. If I wasn't so stuck on filling everything in with tape, You know, I would save some of this to do some effects in there. And I should. Let me cut this before. Oh yeah, this one I can take up. Same thing I'm gonna cut here. And it just helps it to be a little more accurate. Like I say, this style is just a lot harder. It takes more time. This is just not an easy thing. For sure, my brother Vince. I appreciate it. No worries, brother. And then depending on what, you know, there, I'm not gonna probably, I mean, I could come in over here. I don't want it looking too robotic either. So I'm gonna try right here, see what it looks like, how far this is gonna end up bending here. So now I'm starting to peel that back. Let me see, so that'll be to there, that'll go to there. And like I say, always tape to where it's comfortable. So even this, I'd literally turn it this way. So I'm taping comfortable on this side. Man, and I definitely appreciate all you guys that have bought the pre-flaked boards. Man, I definitely appreciate that. I totally sold the last 3 today. And what I mean by that, you know, had a whole bunch of boards that I pre-flaked, different sizes on the website. Especially for you guys that you're not able to flake wherever you're at. Like I know there's quite a few people on here. My brother Steve, you know, he lives in apartments. And that's just not a doable thing where he's at. And it makes it way easier to my brother Manuel too. I'm going to be shooting a whole bunch more hopefully next week. And of course yours, I shipped yours out yesterday, my brother. I'm hoping you should get it tomorrow. It's usually pretty quick too. And of course, like with your stuff and most stuff I do ship, it's the post office for some of the smaller stuff. And of course, you're pretty close. I mean, you're like, what, 3 hours away. My brother Eldon, all I have is a Harbor Freight 29-gallon compressor, my brother. And it was a higher end. They don't even sell it no more over there. It was, I forget what it is. It's like, in fact, before I misquote it, let me just. 2 horsepower, 150 PSIs. And that does the job for what I'm doing, but you got to think, when I'm shooting a car in here, which ain't that often, man, it is sad. I can only shoot half, and then I got to wait for it to fill back up for the air pressure to fill back up. My brother Martin on here, he gave me another tank. I need to go pick it up. I got a reserve tank, filling that tank up. It's happening, my brother James. Juan, the design looks primo. Thank you, I appreciate it, brother. Flake makes a mess, and I find glitter all over the house. That is funny, my brother. You don't even know. You'll be finding that flake for years to come, my brother. Serious. You're gonna be like, they'll be like early in the morning. Sun's gonna be shining through in one of the bedrooms 10 years from now. And you're going to see that thing blinging in the corner. I know people's houses I went to shoot back in the day. They're like, man, Rob, there's still flake 15 years later in the house. So I'm just hitting a few of these little spots. I ain't going to get too crazy. Psych. So same thing here. I'm going to come along here. That'll be, of course, off of this. Swinging along this. Like I say, most of the time, just do this freestyle, just by freestyling it. You see I'm shaky like crazy. If I can do it, you can do it. Yep, all over my garage. Flake it is. It's crazy. My house is covered with it, and so much that I don't even realize it's there anymore, honestly. Just like everybody that comes to the house, they're like, smells like paint. And like, to me, I can't smell it. You know, when we're used to it, we're spraying it all the time. It's like you can't even smell it unless you like leave. You leave for the afternoon and then come back, and then it's like, man, I do smell paint. But we get so numb to it. And just like even my kids, back in the day, it's like, I mean, they pretty much, I mean, there's a point when my house got raided that the kids were living at the shop on, you know, I kind of told you guys Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I would be spraying. They had a nice little upstairs that was kind of open. Adams, these little like holes, like I built them kind of like these crazy little bunk beds in the walls. I know it sounds crazy, but, and then they had like a little upstairs with the couch, and of course back then it was whatever Nintendo and PlayStation they'd be playing while I'm working and spraying. Overspray floating in the whole shop. Of course somebody could have called CYFD. Of course I was already in enough trouble as it is, but you know, all my kids turned out pretty good for the most part. Laugh out loud. I'm not trying to tell you guys have your kids hoofing paint. Laugh out loud. But for the most part, you know, shop kids. You know, I was grew up. My dad worked for the city, but he always had a job. Paint and body job every weekend for extra money. Let's see, Curtis. Let's see, well, Rob, I have a big wheeler bagger show by coming in the end of the month. Thanks for everything. Love you, my brother Jim. Good night. Brother Curtis, Bailey, brother Rob, thanks for your expertise. I'm doing a skateboard blank for a wall art soon. You are definitely an inspiration. I appreciate that, my brother. E. Brown, haha, I flaked all my wife's flowers outside by accident. That's funny. Got some bling bling. The garden is bling blinging. So same thing, I'm gonna come around this one more time. In fact, this one we're just gonna wing it. Boom. Man, this is gonna look cool though. Like I say, I definitely will clear it tonight too, so you guys get to see what the holographic, the gold holographic flake looks like. Root beer brown, tangerine orange, and candy gold. This one I'm just going to keep swinging it along, even though we got that little cut there. In fact, I'm going to kind of come. Going to swing that one around. This will give a chance in these little spots where I will do some more 3 shade. That's always a big hit. It's always a good breakup. That's always, man, mandatory for you guys for your tricks and techniques toolbox. And of course, could do that all the way around to where it is the 3 shade, 3 fade through there. Let me at least do here. Let me tell you, I got some more lights. My brother Vince sent me some amazing, man, a 10-pack of super bright LED lights. And so I'm even more lit up. I can see it on the screen. It's just popping. I appreciate it, my brother Vince, man. I got them set up in a, kind of in a little ring here. So I appreciate you guys, man. Definitely. The 1/2 inch coming there. And then, see if I'm gonna do that. And if, let's see. And it's cool too. I got a bunch of, I know, brother Fala, you already know it, brother. I got a bunch of tape coming up. I mean, I just ordered a grip, and I ordered 2mm. That's gonna be a cool new ad. And of course, 2mm is of course in between 16th inch and 1/8 inch. And it'll be a cool ad, you know, to where kind of how would you put it? Little more variety. Okay, so I am going to, cause see, I honestly looked at this a little bit last week. Like I say, wish I wouldn't even have stopped the live last week. Wish I'd have kept going. I had a bunch of good ideas, and then I've been looking at it all week, but I haven't been planning anything. So I don't know how, if you can relate with me. You're seeing it, but you're not thinking about it. You know what I mean? Just like all my brother Michael, legs in the house. You're saying it, you're seeing it. Just like all those things you need to do to your house, things that have been waiting. You see it every day, but you ain't doing anything about it. You know what I mean? Yep. This needs fixed, that needs fixed. So, you know, and it's like this, just sitting there, like I say, all week when I'm in here. It's like, I'm like, kept looking at it, but not really thinking about it. Like I said, a whole bunch of cool stuff I was thinking about last week to do on it. So we'll do, fill it up, Cadillac said. To make those turns too, you do gotta stretch it to go around those turns. You know, it definitely is stretching it quite a bit. You don't want to stretch it to where it'll tear. There's a perfect little median, but just enough to get around those turns. And of course, you're gonna get little crinkles on the inside, but that side doesn't matter. That side does not matter. You know, just like if I was to show you guys, you know what it's like, if you're making a turn with this tape, you're focusing on this one, not on this inside where it's wrinkly. You know, this would just be like taping up flames. You know, some people will lay out the whole paper. They'll lay out like the, which I barely ever use this. They'll use the mask over the flames or over their patterns, and they'll cut it out with this. You know, I've never done that. My whole thing is always taping it 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, you know, the flames once you have them taped up. And like I tell you guys, I try to tell some of you guys, I strongly recommend you guys, even if flames ain't your thing, tape up some flames. Get some practice in. Flames are like some of the best practice. Lamuel, what is happening, my brother? Flames are some of the best practice for those turns, for the points, especially when you're trying to keep symmetrical flames. You know, no offense against anybody, but man, I like the flames where the tips go from skinny to fatter to fatter to fatter to the turn. Some, the tips will weeble wobble. I don't know how to explain it. They weeble wobble. It's like fat, skinny, fat, skinny. Man, I'm pretty big on a slow receding point to fatter and fatter. And this is pretty simple what we're doing here. I outlined it. You've seen how I did it. And we're basically just doing for the 3 shade 1/2 inch along the whole border. Just say you gotta pull and stretch, pull and stretch. I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in from the East Coast. What's happening, Dad? How are you doing? Yep, all of the kids are pretty gifted. Yep, my sister, man, my sister, both my sisters, my older sister, which she's my younger sister, she danced Siegfried and Roy out in Vegas. She had danced at the Excalibur. She was on the stage when the tiger drug Siegfried and whichever it was, Roy or Siegfried, up the stage. And that's when that show was over. My sister, pretty much, that was the end of Vegas. Honestly, some of those show things. So she had moved to Austin. My other sister sews, man, some amazing, her own dresses. I mean, just like amazing seamstress. And of course, I learned from my dad the paint and body, you know, that type of stuff. And then my mom was always a baker. Learned how to do cakes with patterns, putting the patterns in the cakes, all kinds of designs. Grew up with just art, you know, lots of music too. My son does music. That runs in my family. Definitely gifted in that. 3 shade is my favorite trick. Yes, sir, Brother Dale. That piece came out good, man. And definitely, man, let me tell you guys, man, all you Kansas, my Kansas family, whoo, that's crazy, man. What do you call it? The shooting out there. It's crazy how they'll show that shooting on the news, but they won't show the one from the church. Not too much about the one from the church this weekend. A lot of people, when I do my designs with tape, I always get frustrated because the other side is not symmetrical. Any tips? So I am going to show here in a minute, which I almost should. In fact, let me take a second to do that. Can you grab me, Rudy, a little bit of the green paper? I think, in fact, you won't be able to find it. It's somewhere pretty neat. In fact, you know what? Let me use the brown. So there's so many ways to do symmetrical. Let me tell you, so here's one. Put some paper on it. Get a crayon. Or you can do it like I do it, usually the old-fashioned way, is just sit there and tape and retape and retape and retape till it gets as good as possible. And of course, then you got this method. Go over it with the crayon. You want to make sure to keep it flat. You don't want it to move. So if you can tape it down in a few places, tape it down. You want to make sure you got most of your lines pretty accented, as far as accented with the crayon. You got to go back a few times. Ask and you shall receive. So you got this right here. So let's say, like I told you guys, for you guys that are just tuning in, I mean, I literally, go grab that other gold bordery, if you would. It's lining up right there, I think. So you know, like I said, the little bit I was looking last week, I'm going to tilt this. Because, you know, mainly here, how do I put it? Even my brother Steve today, he had showed me a picture of that he had started to do some symmetrical, some mirroring. So, you know, I wanted to, you know, I thought about it this week. I was like, okay, I'll do a mirror image of this. But then I already had the blessed on here. It would have looked, it just wouldn't have been, you know, it wouldn't have been really feasible mentally for me to do it. OCD-ish. So we got this here. So if I was going to try to do this on this side, there's a couple different ways of doing it. So they sell these little things. They're little wheels with little points in it. Different sizes. And of course, like I say, from me doing the class with all from Joe to Blast to Randy to, you know, everybody that you know, a lot of us thought we all did things the same way, and it was far from it. And of course, this method, let me tell you, there's a couple different, this is a cork board. Of course, I still have the wrapping on it. So you get this wheel, you literally go along it, follow whatever design, like I'm only going to do a few. Of course, this needs tightened. In my shaky butt, this is where it's a little hard for me. And let me tell you, Bobo, he's an old pinstriper, passed away quite a few years ago. He had this machine, it's called the Electro. So you would put this paper up on a metal board, you'd ground it. It had another like stick, like an engraver, like a pin, but almost like a solder gun. You would go along it and it would electrocute micro holes. It literally would, it would literally put little holes, electrocuting it. And I'm going to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. And so what it'll do, it'll put micro holes. I'm sure it's probably hard for you guys to see. Little holes. And then what you do, and of course even with this, like a lot of this, which is a super good trick, you'll come back. Grab the right grit. Of course, it's good with some 80. You got some 80. You'll come along. You'll sand these because where it pokes the holes through will kind of get in the way. You kind of sand those little ribs off. Then, depending on which way you're trying to do it, like I say, I only did a small part. Then you come in with the chalk pounce, which I don't have much. There's not much chalk in this one. You'll pounce through those holes. And of course you're lining it up. And of course I'm not, you know, we got the cork board. And what it'll do, you can see where the chalk is on the cork board. Hopefully you guys can. And it goes through. And of course I just did a few little lines. And you would literally go back wherever those lines are. And I'm gonna do a whole, this is on my list. And literally where that chalk is, you're gonna follow it. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna do a whole, we're gonna do a whole night on that, on mirroring. So that'll be something we'll be covering, so stay tuned. I think it's like 1, 2, 3, like maybe 4 down the list that we're gonna be covering. And of course, like I say, you know, mirroring it, after all those holes are on it, you're gonna flip it. So this would be the same thing if we are doing a hood, if you're doing flames, if you're doing whatever, if we're copying this on the other side of the hood, that's how you would do it. So hopefully that was hopefully that was informative to you. And like I say, we're gonna cover it a lot better. I'm just trying to quick. I don't want to take up a bunch of time, but hopefully that kind of gave you the adhesion issues with the tape and the chuck. That's what I would have thought, but it really doesn't. But you don't want to get too crazy. You don't want to get too crazy either. What's happening, Brother Mark? You don't want to get too crazy with the chalk either, because then it won't stick good. And let me tell you, I've only done that method a few times. Like I say, that's just something. That's something. Let me blow this up real quick. Got a bunch of flake on it. Okay, so coming back, I'm gonna try to hurry up. So I'm coming back literally with the green 3M 1/2 inch, which, man, I strongly recommend. If you're not a 1/2 inch guy, I would say to become a 1/2 inch guy. Let me tell you, that is huge. One of the main tools to your arsenal is 1/2 inch. Gotta tell you guys, back in the day, all the fades used to be 3/4 inch. Man, it's just so hard for me to be that, to have, you know, fades 3 in a row that are 1/2 inch, that are 3/4 inch. It's just too big for me now. It's like, I don't know how to put it, man. It's I like to shrink it down a little bit more detail. Travis, could you dust it with some base coat instead of chalk? I mean, you probably could, my brother, and then you would have to go back, though. You got to think, wherever you're going to put that line would have that base coat, and you would have to literally wipe that off because it would be the little dots. You know what I mean, Travis? And trust me, the chalk does work. But like I say, I'm not even, you know, like I say, I'm going to share that with you guys, but, you know, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really do it. It's like, I mean, it's like, you know, I try to sit there and just tape it, try to match it up as good as I can. And I got a couple other methods that I'll use instead of that, which I'll be sharing too. Like I say, I learned, you know, working with other people, it's like, wow, you trip out on how people do things. You're like, man, I thought we were all kind of somewhat on the same page, when some of us ain't even in the same book. You know what I mean? Which is like, man, you trip out. You're like, man, everybody does something different. And then, of course, you know, a lot of us get stubborn and prideful, which I've tried to lose that. To where, like, man, we do it one way. I'm not about to try it another way. You know what I mean? This is how I've done it, and this is how I've done it all these years. Man, if you're got that attitude, man, definitely, you should pray for yourself. And trust me, I mean, there's some ways. It doesn't mean we got to go do their way. But if it is beneficial and it's easier, who cares if somebody showed you how to do it, man? Use it. And if it doesn't work for you, then don't. You know what I mean? If your way that you've been doing it for the last years works for you, continue to do it. Like I say, this kind of don't matter. I'm going off the edge. None of that matters. I mean, I could literally split it because it wants to keep wrapping up. Same thing here. And like all of this, none of this matters. Even sometimes it'll give me OCD and I'll go back and cut it. But for absolutely no reason, there's no reason to go back, because I mean, none of that's going to show there. But hopefully that was a little bit of a help, my brother. Base stuff in Impala bent middle and made the body lines with flake and metal. Nice. Definitely too, we are going to do, let's do a giveaway. I do have all the colored flakes on the website now too. I got them in by the pound or by a 6-ounce jar. Even though I do have them in 4-ounce jars, I just haven't had time to post that, and who knows when I will. But they're 6-ounce and a pounds right now, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I have them on there. Ooh, forget it. Killed that one too much. Trying to think how much I have them on there for. I think maybe 55 a pound, if I'm not mistaken, for the colored flake. The holographic is a little more. Cost me a lot more to get. What's up, everyone? What's happening, my brother? So, okay, that's kind of there. Boom, 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 boom. One more. I'm gonna go with the 1/4 inch real quick for the 3 shade. Hey Rudy, turn that heater off. It's getting hot in here now. Are you hot or no? And thank God we are starting. Are you guys excited? Time's gonna be changing. I think like 2 more weeks. Thank you, Jesus. I cannot stand the time change. I like when we have a lot more sunlight. I don't know how you guys feel. Keep it up, keep it up. Yep. Then almost when it gets up here, when you have this much space, it's almost pointless to do this. Because I mean, watch, by the time I put one more, it's going to be one little spot that's actually going to show. What do you guys think too about the lighting? Way 100%. Besides, I can see my big old head in there. 310 for daylight savings time. Yep. Man. Looking forward to that for sure. Okay, so boom.
Forgot a spot.
Huh?
Forgot a space.
Yeah, I forgot a spot. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so then so now this is our next step. What are we doing color wise? It's back to that. Like even with this, I am gonna
Don't you?
forgot his face. That's funny, man. How do we have 77 people and only 42 likes, man? Thank you, my brother John. Yes, please, if you guys would hit the like button, please, and subscribe. I am trying to make it to 10,000 subscribers. Man, let's make that happen. I know a lot of you guys are already subscribed, but if you're not, please like and subscribe, and even hit the bell. I know a lot of you guys I send when I'm going live, and definitely I appreciate it. So let's see here. Okay. Of course, me in those darn spots. Yep. So now it's what to do as far as color wise. Like I say, we're doing root beer brown, tangerine orange. So I really want to try to spray my root beer brown first. So that depends on what I want to choose. And this is really up to you guys. This is like when you guys are doing something, you know, you kind of want to, like I tell you guys, you want to try to make it to where like, this is kind of in a way puzzle taping to where everything is going to be sprayed. The darkest first, orange second, of course, gold go last. And it doesn't have to happen like that, but that would be ideal to make it just flow smooth. But picking choices, I mean, do I want this to go brown, this to go, you know, this is kind of something when you guys are doing this on your own, you know, it's you choosing what to do. How much we want to tape up. Do we want to tape up solid some sections and do solid kind of like, you know, we were talking about 3 weeks ago, or do we want to shoot around the edges, which some will get shot around the edges. You know, it's just by choice. You know, how crisp do you want it to be? How much detail? And like usually too, I mean, you even got like this. I mean, could go back and tape this and do something inside of this, you know, as far as an effect. But like I say, we're not going to get too crazy on that. And don't triple dog dare me, my brother Fat Lack, of course. And even Rudy's already eyeing me over here too. So it's back to that, you know, a choice, and you got to figure out, okay, this one here goes along here. You know, do I want that one sprayed last? Which that I'm probably going to mask this up. So we're going to come in. I'm going to basically come in and outline it. And like I say, this is something like, listen to me. We could come in and just spray, go in detail, go around all these lines, and we could make it happen. It could be done really easy. Or you could go back and tape, like we're saying, tape some sections off to where one's going to go kind of one color. This is going to go a different shade. And we could do that, and which we are going to do a few. Like I say, I'm going to come back. I always try to go in kind of with the 1/2 inch first. That's even with the flames. And then this is something you need to remember. This is a quick mistake to make. So this section here, when you're starting to mask things up, whoo, it is so quick to not come back and cut that to where that goes over it. Because see, that one's coming through it. So you need to remember that, and it is hard. And if you have somebody helping you, like mask, man, it's even hard because, I mean, this is coming out of your brain, not theirs. So, you know, it's one of those things to come in. This is going to have to get cut out of here, right in that area. And it's so easy to forget about it and accidentally have it taped over. And then that's a mess. I mean, to go back, because then you'll have whatever color candy super dark in that area. Like I say, the same thing here. I'm going to come in right here. Have to mask this up. Slice it here. I'm going to twist it to where it's comfortable to tape. Back to that. And I'm actually going to come in and do the inner line first. Like I say, twist it to where it's comfortable to work. Good night, my brother John. Appreciate you, my brother. I have a bunch of different guns, my brother. It just depends on, most of all of this will be touch-up guns. I don't have a bunch of fancy guns. Almost anything you ever seen me shoot that was centerfold and lowrider, I hate to tell you guys, and anybody can talk smack or whatever, but every one of those were done with the Harbor Freight gun. Back as far as I can go back. I mean, I had a couple Snap-on Sharps. I think Snap-on used to sell the Sharp off the truck back then. Had a couple of those, but nothing super fancy. Especially the custom work. If I was doing production work, it's a different story. I mean, it's mandatory you have a good gun. I gotta give, if any of you guys are production painters, man, hats off to you guys. You gotta be darn near perfect, literally, to do that. There's no room for error. Very demanding business versus this custom stuff. How hard was it doing the roof panels and getting straight lines, man? That's a hard one, Travis. Definitely, especially up on a ladder, or scaffold, you know, the mini scaffolds, depending on what you're working on. Man, your legs, I mean, just, it is. You got to be moving around. Lucky, you got to, and it's hope that the trunk might be off, you know, to where you're able to get in the trunk and kind of go back, do some of the taping. You know, if the motor's out, like the car I just did for my brother Alameda, if he's still on here, there's 52 or whatever it is, Chevy, you know, the motor's out. He put a piece of wood there for me to get up by the windshield. The trunk was off, so I was able to get in the back to kind of line some stuff up. Otherwise, it's I mean, up the ladder, down the ladder, up the ladder, down the ladder, down. You know, it's you get a workout, that's for sure. So now I'm gonna come in. Now I got that skinny part kind of lined up. Let me grab a 3/4 inch tan real quick. Boom, boom, sucker. Back to. I'll come back with that little area there. So same thing. Just masking this up, and then same thing. You could have laid down the white, the big mask, and cut all these out with the razor blade. That's just not me. I mean, I'm just, man, it's one of those. I'd rather go back with masking tape and mask it up. Everybody's got their way of doing it. Like I say, definitely need to figure out an end, since this one is swooshing through there. What do we do here? Scaffolding is what I always use. Yep. I'm here, my brother Alameda. And so it helps with that. But when you got the motors in the car, the hood's on, I mean, that all you can do literally is from side to side, you know, just back and forth. And then you just got to behind the car all the way to kind of see if your lines are straight. I mean, I'll run tape from the front glass to middle of the roof, and I will walk around the side of the car with that piece of tape. I'll have some markings, and I'll literally be behind the trunk and laying down those lines just to get some of those lines, because it's so easy to get some crooked lines. It is. It's just like I was telling you guys too, some of the cars I worked on in the past, man, in a one-car garage, with no room, literally to work, no room. You move the car out and you're like, wow, you got some crooked lines. You need to be able to have some space to be able to step back, look to see how straight the lines are, and you know, to kind of take a step back. You know, it's good to 5 feet, 10 feet to be able to see what you're even working on. But sometimes that's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna end this right here, even though this design is part of this and goes all the way around. Let me see. And of course, back over here, we'll kind of get this just right here real quick to about there. Then I'll use the 3/4 inch. I'm gonna come in here real quick just to mask it up. Raymond. What's happening, my brother? Hours of streams. This is my first live. Right on, brother. Just want to say thank you. Sharing all your knowledge, man. I really appreciate that. Definitely. Thank you for the words. I appreciate you guys too, man. You guys that text me and reach out to me. Man, everybody needs that encouragement sometimes. You know, I appreciate that you guys are getting something out of this. You know, it's not an easy thing to do, you know, to go live every Thursday and to share this stuff. And like I told you guys, I used to be a jerk and not share any of this. I mean, I used to be really rude. Go figure it out for yourself. I had to. I mean, I was a jerk, literally. Rudy's back laughing because he knows. It's like, man, I'm like, go figure it out for yourself. I had to. I was that guy. And of course, you know, it's a different story now. What's happening, Brother Dio? Man, I appreciate those words too. Yeah, every video has its benefits. And like I say, I'm really trying. I was hoping my brother Marco was going to come tonight. He's trying to help me to try to figure out to where we can record separately tonight's live, put it into iMovie or whatever, and edit, take out just the very important, kind of like that video that I did up at Adams that ends up 15 minutes. So in other words, condensing 3 hours or 2 hours into 15 minutes with a voiceover. Okay, this is what we're doing. Today we're taping this board. Boom, we're doing this, we're doing this. I'm going to be using this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. You know, to where it's a little easier for you guys. And like I say, so I'm working on it now. Every week we're getting better. We got better lighting. Slowly but surely. Man, I think I am going to go back. These are those choices, like I say, when you're taping. And of course, here's like what I told you guys too. You know, you could go back. You know, some people go back with the just going to give you guys an example. Some people go in with this and then go in and razor blade it. You know what I mean? So it could go in and literally razor blade that versus masking it. I mean, that's a way of doing it. Coming in like that. Coming in, razor blading. So many ways to do it, you know what I mean? But like I say, this is just, man, for me, and my eyes are like, I used to have super, super good vision. I mean, like, extra good vision. And it's like, man, I gotta say, the older you get, 54, it's like, man, I'm like, starting to not be able to see. Then you don't want to do like a whole bunch of cutting either, where it's like, man, it's like, that's something I don't like to do a whole bunch of either. Of course, I'm trying to show you guys this is just another way of doing it. You know, with my shaky butt too. So then, in fact, this one I will tape. And then this is kind of, how do you put it? This is like kind of a low tack too. Needs to be a little more tacky. I got a cut here. So that's one way of doing it too. A lot of people will just run the tape across it. They'll figure out what they want to untape, cut it with the razor blade. That's one way of doing it. Like I say, to each their own in that one. It's got its benefits, and then like I say, it's kind of got its lots of cutting. Hard to see. Of course, I'm going to finish it up with the masking tape. Fill in this. This is basically like coloring, man. We're trying to fill in the lines. And I'll run this one. I'll run with a little piece of quarter just to fill it in. Oh yeah, let's do a giveaway too. How many people we got on here? 75. Closest to in between 1 and 80. Same with that. Vanderslice shirt. And either you can have your choice of let's see, you can have your choice of 4 rolls of tape or a 4-ounce jar of flake. And that'll be masking tape, whatever size besides 16th and 1 millimeter. 1/8 and 1/4 and 1/2, whatever you choose. And if you don't paint it all and that is not going to benefit you, then let's see, we'll figure out something. Huh?
Just out of luck then.
What now?
You just out of luck.
Yeah, you're out of luck. Of course, even if you don't paint and don't do that, man, it'd be cool to have, like I say, a jar of flake. Just even, I know some people, just for a collection thing to put on the shelf. Something cool. But definitely a shirt. And a 4-ounce jar of flake. Or 4 rolls of masking tape. We'll do that. We'll give that away here in 10 minutes. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. There we go there. And of course, you know me. I'm going to blame it on Fat Lack and Rudy. Boom, boom, boom. Now we're excited too. Tomorrow, headed up to Santa Fe. My brother Diego, the chapter, the Lowrider Bike Mentorship After School Program. The opening ceremony is tomorrow up in Santa Fe for the Espanola chapter. And a few of us are heading up there to go support. My brother Eric and Gene are coming from Olathe, Kansas. I think they flew in today to Santa Fe. I think they're getting there late tonight to go support. Of course, Eric is the one who actually started the program, which has been a huge success, especially there in Kansas. Man, let me tell you, man, it's a 100% graduation rate. They're doing some really good things, man, for the youth out there. Huge, much needed. These kids need to know, and they need guidance. And it's just a blessing. There's quite a few. The Albuquerque chapter here. My brother Alameda is part of it. Brother James on here is part of it. I'm hoping my brother Mark's going to be a part of it. Rudy, of course, is a part of it. And It's a huge thing, and of course, the city's having a little issues getting started here. We're hoping to be started, but it's a chance to really encourage these kids in the right direction. Especially, you know, a lot of my guys, mentors, we all have a past. I thank Jesus for literally pulling us out of the life we are living, and that we're even alive to even be here, to be even mentoring the next generation, which is huge. Put the tape down and let the little boy go. Let's see here. I think I'm going to leave that except for this here. Okay. I'm not going to go back with the 8th in those places. Okay, so. But I'm going to go right here real quick. We're almost ready to start spraying. Okay, let's see. Bam. I think we're gonna go with that right there. Okay. See, so 9:30, what did I say we'd do to give it away? Let's see. I'll be heading up to Santa Fe tomorrow. All right, Alameda, definitely. I know we're taking off, meeting up at my mom's like at 3:15, and we're taking off down Tramway and heading up there. Probably be up there about 4:30. Definitely Diego was I told him today, quite a few of us are coming up. He was definitely very appreciative for the support. That's for sure. It took them kind of a minute to get going too. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to come in first. I'm going to come in first with some white. Let's do, okay, what was the number, Rudy? Number 80. Number 80. Who's 80 or close? The closest to 80. Yeah, don't forget to like, please, guys. Everybody, please hit the like button. That helps out. So I'm going to come in with the white. You kind of want to make sure, always go back over your work. Make sure you got it all taped up. You don't want no leakers. You don't want no leak throughs. Me, brother. All right. What a blessing, my brother. The I don't want to jack it up either. Glade, whoever Glade is. So I'm coming in with some white. These little areas to drown out. You know, we do that to kind of drown out the flake. I can't tell you how good this looks. Man, it's something you really got to see in person. And all you guys that are doing it, you guys know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, turn on the fan, Rudy, too. That's why I lose at the casino. Oh no, that's funny. Trust me, don't feel bad, Nolan. I don't gamble, but back in the day, I just used to make a joke. I just would rather go give the guy at the front desk. I'd rather just give him a 20 and call it a day. Just not worth it. So now this white, you can kind of pick where you want to go with it. Like I'm gonna literally just kind of come in right along this one. Huh? Nolan? Who was the other closest? So Linda 77 is closest? 277s? Was there 277s? Let's make sure on it. There are 277s. Okay, so let's figure out who had 77 first. I'm just going right along this edge here. Same thing here. Brother Alameda interested in this piece. I'm trying to think who last week that wanted it. If they don't want it for sure. I know I'm trying to think who. I gotta go back in. Oh, Richard from Phoenix, and he's not even on tonight. If he doesn't, he's not even on tonight, my brother Alameda. If he doesn't end up wanting it, then for sure, I'll let you buy it for sure. I appreciate you. I'm not going to get too crazy with the whites. So I liturgy just went along that one, Then that'll end up going with a little bit of black in between that. Okay, so I think that's it for, in fact, you know what, I'll go right here. So did we figure that out, who won? There's two, whoever was the first 77.
Yeah,
it's Eli?
Yeah. No, not Eli.
Who?
EL, and then AL, ARCH.
Got you, write it down and then. Okay, so now I'm going to come back. Root beer brown. And this root beer brown, I could either go heavy over all of it. Of course, I need to break out my tack rag. And then when you're tack ragging this, you gotta really be careful because you don't wanna pull up these points. It's so easy to come with the tack rag. You gotta really be strategic with the tack rag. Kind of go in, always go the opposite direction. If the point's that way, you wanna go that way. If it's this way, you wanna go that way. Whatever it is. And now this, with this root beer brown, I could literally come in depending on how dark you want to get. And I'm going to come right along just kind of hit the border. Same thing here. I'm going to kind of come back over some of these 3 shades, hit them a couple times, and I'm going to start taking some of those off. So the thick ones, my brother, I do have in the thick, the only ones I got the, what do you call it, the Shaka brand, but only in large and extra large. It's the tight neck, super thick, like 7 whatever, I forget what it is. That's personally the only shirts I wear is the thick ones. But that's all I have those in is in X and yeah, large and extra large. So I'm going to take off my first tape fade or shade. It'll be a shade tonight. So there, 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 We'll do another giveaway here too in a minute. Well, not in a minute, but get a little bit farther. Brother Jerry, what is happening? Jeremy, what is happening? This is going to come to life pretty quick. Okay, boom. Let's see. Kind of want to make sure, go back. Click OK. Now I'm going to do again another brown. This is going to be a shade, not a fade. If there was a fade, I would dial it in. I would go right along the edge, kind of fade right up the masking tape, but I'm shooting over the whole design, and I'm making sure to shoot over what I shot before to where it double darkens it. I'm going to go there. Pretty simple, just go along it, same thing. I want to kind of fill that in. Like I say, I'm not trying to do a fade. This is a shade. Okay. And make sure I'm happy with the amount I put on there. Okay, back again, same thing. Removing the next one. Okay, let me make sure here. Always make sure you got all the areas you're trying to untape. It's hard to keep track of it sometimes. So kind of go back, make sure, kind of go back and just... I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go brown again. How can I get that paper stencil design to hang on my wall? Ah, there you go, my brother. That's a good... You mean the one that I did with the crayon? Yeah. Hit me up. Usually I have my phone number in the description, but I forgot to put it tonight. You can email me on the website to get a hold of me. Now this one, I'm not trying to get too crazy. Basically what this is doing is darkening up everything. The first one we sprayed would be 9 coats. The second one would be 6 coats. This last one would be 3 coats. Like I say, we're not doing a fade. This is a shade. I'm actually going over all 3 of those lines, and you can see really the nice color contrast that it's leaving, man. And it's almost looking like a red orange because we're going over this gold. It almost doesn't even look like root beer brown. So boom, so same thing. Kind of come along this. Okay. Man, and these three shades just make it. I'm telling you, it's like my brother Dale said, these are like mandatory. Of course, my shaky butt. And I get the more shaky, the more I start untaping, the more shaky I get. It's always been like that. Like, I don't know, it's like the nerves get excited. Start untaping and it's like, so I say, if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so same thing. I'm gonna come back in, tack rag. I'm gonna kind of go back. I'm gonna be careful with those points. And then, let's see here. What's the website? It's in the description, my brother. In the description of this video, you'll see it, vanderslicecustomshop.com. You can go there and there's a place for you to leave an email. Okay, so now I could either go over all of this, or I could untape some of these sections, depending. Man, this root beer brown's actually giving such a good contrast, almost just with this one color. And it already looks so much like orange since it's going over a gold. So let me see here. This is where you want to make sure you're making the right choice. So I'm going to, let me see. I'm going to go over this with gold. We're going to see what it looks like. I'm going to kind of see. I might want to come back with a little bit of orange. Just kind of trying to see what it looks like. So what I'm going to do is literally go over the whole thing with some gold. The gold don't affect that root beer brown. A couple more coats over it. You guys see I got like blue shop towel taped over this. That's because, you know, these cups have a little hole on the top and there's not a bleeder through there. It's literally just a hole. I don't want it to drip, so I always do this just for backup. My dad back in the day used to put old socks. And of course that's on the, that was, you know, even on the, you could use that. He'd always put that over it to where it wouldn't drip. An old sock, whatever it is. And that's this one, this gun, this is what my brother gifted me with. I still need to figure out what, man, these guns are really nice. I need to figure out what the PPS cup adapter, which one it is. It's like an oddball. It's almost like the Iwata, but a little bit different. So I'm gonna come in with that there. And I am gonna come back. I'm gonna come back with a little orange just along the border of that line, just so it stands out a little bit. Barely going over it with the orange. Okay. I gotta work in a few hours. We have a snow in, holy Moses, Dale, and you got, I see you got the little, I see you got the, what do you call it, your, four-wheeler with the plow on it. Well, we love you, my brother. Brother Travis, that gold is going to pop when it's cleared. It is, man. And gold, are you using it? Yes, this is the ready to spray, the root beer brown, the gold. And like I said, I got those in 2 ounce. I got those in, I don't think the 4 ounce is listed. I need to relist it, but I got the 8 ounce and the 2 ounce. And I'm just about out of the root beer brown. I think I have probably maybe like 3 or 4 more 2 ounce bottles of the root beer. And I might have a 4 ounce mixed up of it. So back to this, kind of go over it. It's drying pretty quick, so we're good on that. So now this is back to making a choice, which I'm going to pretty much probably untape the whole, as far as all of this. Going to come back and untape it. And this is something too, you want to be careful when you're peeling. You don't want to peel up some of those sharp points. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. So be careful when you're peeling. You don't want to peel up anything. Same thing here. I'll usually get it right there. I'll cut it. I'll split it and then peel back. Hopefully you guys are able to see that. Boom, boom, boom. See, same thing there. You don't want to peel those points up. You want to be very careful. Okay, boom, let me make sure. Let me take this one here. Boom. I can't figure out what cup adapters to use for my touch-up gun either. I know it's weird, my brother Steve. It's like yeah, brother Jeremy, it's funny. I got my brother Richard from Phoenix said he wanted it last week, and he's not on tonight, so I'm going to make sure. And if not, Alameda said he wanted it. And if not, you are third in line, my brother. So back to this tack rag coming in. Now with this last deal, it's like, man, it's man, that root beer and the gold is popping almost. Man, the orange is almost. Of course, the orange and the gold almost could make. Sure, it's a root brownish. So I'm like. So choices and choices. I'm going to go in with a little bit, back to that, going with, make sure. And back to this. You could go back, I'm just telling you guys. You guys could go back, mask all of this up to spray this separate. But when you're using these colors that are pretty, they're all compatible against each other, you can make the choice not to. And it's not going to really be a big deal. Now back to this, I always try to use Hulk, candy green and purple. You know, if we were doing something like that, I mean, it's mandatory. You're going to have to go back, mask all this up to shoot all of that. But with this, back to this, and I'm gonna, let me see here. Let me get the gold. I am gonna dial it down now. And I might think it's a little bit too light, so we'll see. We'll see what I think after this. I am not going to fill it all in. We're just going to go literally around the border. Around the edge. Same thing. Of course, you could do this with an airbrush, even to get in there a lot cleaner. This gun works out cherry too. I'm used to shooting a little bit more higher. A little bit more, I don't know how you would call it, depending on how you want it to look. I mean, we could have left it with just a little bit. Of course, I always choose to go over it. Nothing always seems to have enough color to me, so I always tend to go over it a little bit more. And I gotta say, sometimes I wish I wouldn't, but that's just me. Like I say. So that's with the gold. And you could choose, like I say, to go back. It's like, man, a little bit with the orange. I'm talking like a little with the orange to go in there. I'm just barely hitting it with the orange. Just to make it, how would I put it? To make those edges pop just a little bit more. But I'm not trying to turn it orange. If you get what I'm trying to tell you guys. If you get what I'm spitting. So I'm going to call it at that right there. We kind of go back, make sure this is what I want, what I like. Let's see. Tangerine in the middle. Let's see. So and let me tell you guys, you guys could even go back in kind of like, you could go back in and bevel this to where it's beveled. I mean, there's so many things you could do, you know what I mean? Enchantment, there you go, Brother Brian. So, of course, now it's all about breaking this down. Of course, this is ready to go. We'll start doing our shading. This is ready to go. This is ready. Like I say, you really could. You could come back in there. With the bevel through there. What are we looking at? I'm trying to think if that's... So let's just say if we were going to do that. Depending on where you want the shading, basically like the knife blade, so whether you're wanting a dark bevel or a light bevel, of course you could come in, let me, where you want the light coming from is the huge thing. So watch, we'll do just a quick. Yeah, take that one off. Watch your shins though. Watch those shins. Yeah, take that up and turn that one on for sure. So put the low tack, and then I'm gonna literally come right here, tape that up, and then I'm honestly. There we go. So I'm gonna come in right there because I don't want to get a bunch of overspray. And that I'm gonna go to about right there. Let me go just a little bit more. So I'm gonna come in. Where's my light? This would be really airbrush would be the ideal thing to do, but let me do one more. Like I said, be better off taping to be safe than sorry. So I'm gonna come in with this white, literally to about right there. I'm gonna have the light come from that direction. Okay. I'm gonna try to recycle some of this. Put that right there for now. Then, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go, while that is right there, I'm gonna come back. This is real important to, I'm gonna try to get, let me get this so you guys can see it a little bit better. I'm gonna come in right up against this. Go a little bit further down. And then I'm going to take this off. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to tape this here. About there. Same thing here. Same thing here. I want to, just to be on the safe side. And then I'm going to do one right there. Now I'm going to come in with black. And honestly, you know what? I'm not going to use black. Let me use the root beer brown. In fact, let's see, or even orange. I'm going to come in about here. And I'm only going to go about halfway. I'm going to kind of blend it out. Just to be on the safe side, let me hit a little bit right there. Okay. Back to that. Try to recycle if you can. Put this over here for a second. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to save this whole turn because it will come in handy. So I'm going to stick it up here just for a second. Of course, you'll get to see it kind of when I'm going to go a little gold over it. It's white, and then it switches to the orange. You guys kind of see a little bit of a bevel there. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of gold over that white. Boom, boom, boom. Same thing here. Aww. Okay, so now, and I mean, we could bevel them all. Hopefully you guys are even able to see what I'm doing. So basically you're doing the bevel like a knife blade. You get these out the way. These out the way. We're gonna do a whole night on just bevel. I think that's, how far do I have that now? I think that's like in 4 weeks. Huh?
Put down the tape.
For now?
Put down the tape.
Put down the tape. Rudy said, put down the tape. We'll do this one. So back to this. We want the light to come from this side. The dark is going to come from this side. So honestly, the light will come from about there. Let's do... So we will do first the outer. I'm gonna just go to here for right now. And when you're using an airbrush, you don't have to really get in and tape as much. But that's all right. So I'm gonna come in, do about right there. Right there. So I'm gonna go white to about right here. There. There. Now I'm gonna come back Well, yeah, we'll wait up though. Let's see here. So, I don't want to let that dry just a second. Come back over here. I'm going to go along that edge. Go to about right there. And then I'm going to peel this back. To about right there for right now. And then we will use, I didn't trash that, where did I put it? For sure, my brother Brian. What's happening, brother JJ or Nevaeh? The beloved edges. There we go. So back to this. You don't want no leak throughs. Just to about right there. I am going to do just a couple big ones right there. I think we should be good right there. Let me. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. With the orange. Brother Christopher, what is happening, my brother? Brother Greg. Man, that frame looks cherry, my brother Greg. Looking good, my brother. Boom. Get a little bit more up here, just to about right there. We got that little piece. Like I say, try to recycle as much of this as possible. This you could. This I'm definitely gonna save. Put that up there. Now I'm going to come back with a little bit of the candy gold over that white. We'll let it dry just a second. While that's drying, I'm going to come over here. Some of this I can untape to start doing the shading. That can come off there. Come off there. Come off there. Same thing, all of this. This thing's gonna start coming to life now. Okay, let's see, what else can I take off? So, there, quick to here. I'm gonna come back with the little white just right there. Shade right here. This is a lot of work right here, man. It's like ridiculous. So I'm gonna come in with a little bit of the orange right there. And I'm going to come in just with a little bit of the gold right there. You can kind of see that bevel starting to take place. While that's drying, back to this. Start taking up some areas that let's see. I'm gonna peel back here. This is where you gotta strategically just start peeling back some of the overlappings. Start going in with the shading. And this would be like really a good thing for the airbrush, even though I have my touch-up gun ready with some black in it. So with the airbrush, you'll be able to get a little bit more strategically in there. Then back to this. You could tape it up. You could go back and cut you a little card like I was showing you guys the last time to kind of get in there really nice. And I'm really just trying to shade that little area right there. Good enough. Hiding my razor blade. Good night, my brother Alameda. Love you, my brother. And then same thing here. All of this can come off to right there, and then those two places can get shaded. I know it's easy to get lost. This you could cut, you could shade right there in that little area there. A micro bit. Ah, there it went. The famous drop. If anybody can guess what the famous drop is on here, I'll give you a t-shirt. Only a few of you guys would know if you guys just heard the famous drop. So I'm just shading a little bit, huh? Can you win? Yeah. I'm out of work. I'm the AM. Thank you. Love you, my brother Lloyd. God bless you, my brother. I know one person that would, two people would, if they're watching, would be able to guess it. Yeah, I think so. So boom, we got that there. Okay, so now this here. This right here. Right here. Did anybody? Yeah. Who did? Steven, yep. That's no longer. Dropped the cell phone. Uh-oh, he dropped the gun. Yep, the phone, Cars and More. Uh-oh, you know, the famous drop. I'm going to, man, brother Vince, I think, let's see. Wait up, no, fell asleep. Evan, uh-oh. Fell asleep and dropped the phone. Laugh out loud. Uh-oh. Evan won it, man. You get a shirt, my brother. That's funny, man.
I didn't fall asleep. I just dropped the phone.
Huh?
I just dropped the phone.
Yeah. That's funny. I'm coming in just in those places, the unders and overs. Same thing right here. Like I say, some of those too, like I tried to show you guys the last time. So, see if I got some of these. So you can go in. This is something too I showed you guys last time. You can come in, make you for some of those hard areas, you know, just to kind of get in, at least to get that boom, you know, to kind of help out with those areas. Make your own little kind of stencil shade. Adams tonight, the tank he was working on fell off the stand. Oh, bummer, man. Man. Man, I'll have to give him a call tomorrow. I meant to give him a call today. So some of those areas like that, you can come in, boom, 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 do a little shading right in those spots. Even with this here, and you want to shade a little bit right there. This right here, we'll use this side. All I'm trying to do is shade that little area right there. Okay, and then wherever I keep putting my razor blade, there it is. Okay. So now back to over here. So this here, this where this over and under. Before I start taking that up, I'm gonna cut right here. I'm gonna cut. Of course, that one will come up. This one's underneath. Same thing here. You want to make sure you really get these. You want to cut as accurate as possible. I'm going to peel this back. Boom, here. My big old head, sorry guys. Man, that's sad, man. That's crazy. But those things happen. That's what I like, man. I know both me and Adam, man, we try to be pretty much as real with you guys as possible, man. I mean, literally, those things happen. Man, let me tell you, I mean, like, man, my brother Steve came today and I told him, man, you don't understand how many times, you know, like we were talking about last week, you know, you stay when you know darn well you should go to sleep. You should call it. And you still keep working. You talk about some mistakes start happening. And then back in the party days too, let me tell you, you know, I went through my small phase of drinking. And let me tell you, my most sloppiest work came from when I was drinking. We're talking cars weren't getting put back together right, crooked lines. I mean, just total nonsense. And then when you're super drunk, trying to do what you do, it's like, man, you talk about, I mean, just making a mess, man. No business whatsoever doing any of that. So with this area here, I am going to kind of go in because I want it to look clean. So I'm going to just kind of come in. Take that up right there. A little bit there. Oh, my head probably keeps showing again. Okay. Then now I can take this off. Of course, let me actually take this off. Take that up to there. There to there. That one to there. Man, thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that, brother. That means a lot. And just, you know, to show everybody, man, there's if you are hooked up and you're able to, if you feel as if you're getting anything out of this and you do want to tip me, it doesn't happen that often, but man, I really appreciate it, man. Anything helps. You're able to, like what Tommy just did, man. I appreciate that. Means a lot, brother. Okay, so coming in there, back to this. Could use, like I said, I just cut this out for a quick little deal there, but it's not quite the exact shape. I would rather be on the safe side. Come back with some of the 2-inch. It's about right there. I'm just trying to shade just in that little area there. So, like I say, stuff like this, The airbrush is really good in these areas. Yeah, he's from Salt Lake City. Is that where you're from? I'm located too. That's where I'm located. Man, the lowrider, there's going to be a lowrider super show over there in July. I think Ryan said he's going to try to go up there for it. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so this, I'm just going to peel it right here. We're whittling our way through. So literally, I'm going to put this to about right here because we still got to work on that area. But you're starting to see that really come to life right there. Man, I'm like pretty excited about it right there. Get out my tack rag. Like I said, this is pretty much, unless I wanted to shoot a little black, which I hate, man, I really do. I don't want to say I hate to, but shoot just a little black right there. Like I was saying, I like to be a little more safe. I'd rather be safe. All I'm shooting is right there, but man, I like to be a little bit. I gotta tape a couple little extra. I would rather do that. Can you get a charger for this, Rudy? Oh yeah, the charger's right there, but yeah. Okay, so I'm just shooting a little bit right there. Then I'm gonna move it. I want to shade a little bit on this side too. Just right here, it'll make sense once I do it. Of course I forgot, let me get this, that one. Hey Rudy, right here, brother. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so right there, same thing. I'm gonna come back. Good enough right there. So that whole section. Ready to go. I'm gonna do that one to right there. And then this here. Boom. Like that whole area is pretty much done right there in that section. We're getting there. So let me cut this here. This is the problem. It takes a lot longer when you do the over and unders because you have to sit there and cut the tape out. You can't just, like I try to tell you guys, you can't just peel it up like some of the ones that I have on the top layer like these. Man, those are easy. But like these, you have to go and cut, peel it up. I don't know if I can cut deep enough there. Thought I did. This one I might as well take. I'm going to go to right here because this one I can. This would be a good example. This one I can just peel up And I can do the shading. Don't gotta do any cutting. Real simple. Same thing on this side. And same thing on this side. So I say this is gonna start coming together real quick. I'm definitely going to clear this one tonight. Like I said, even last week, man, I wish I wouldn't even have stopped, but it is what it is. That's right there. Okay, and then only thing is I got to shade literally right there before I can fill those back. So I'm just gonna do right here like this, right there. We'll come in with this right here. I just need to shade that little area. Okay, now I can start peeling these back, which this right here, I just need one little last part for the bevel here. Boom. Boom, right there. Okay, there. And there. And watch a little bit of orange. That's it, right there. A little bit right there. Okay. Okay, now this can come off, so I can lift this up. I can go to about right there, chop it. This one to about right there, chop it. Right there. And this one too. There. Now this right here, you could shade a little bit of shade right there, but I'm not going to, since we already beveled it. This one though, all the way to there, to this little jumble mess, but I can't take off that till, well, honestly, that, because it's behind the letter, I can, so I'm gonna, this one can go all the way to right there. Here we are, we're getting there. Ryan, just got home and my flake came in. Thanks, you got it, my brother. What is custom build? San Antonio checking in. Definitely. Hope you're doing good. Thank you for tuning in. Same thing. There. Now this one I can peel back to about right there, but we still got to do the shading right there. Same with this right here. It's just a matter of working it all out, working the shading. You can take off certain things, but you can't take off certain because you still have to do the shading. Like you still have to shoot some black there. I'm gonna go to about right there. And this one here. Boom. And then this here, I'll be able to do the shading right up there. Same thing here. Okay, and I'm gonna about to right there. Now, we only got a few more spots left. So this one here, I can come in, where's my 1/2 inch? So I'm gonna keep these right there. I'm gonna just literally mask here. I'm gonna make sure just right here. Come back with my tack rag on some of those little spots. Come back with the black. Man, I appreciate that, Greg. Really means a lot, brother. Really, really, I appreciate you, my brother. So I'm coming in just with the little black right here, the in and outs. Right there. Now this can come off here. Man, I just thank all you guys that support the store too. Man, really, like I say, I'm trying to add more stuff. You know, the clear, all of that will be. It's already ordered. I'm hoping he's shipping it out next week. And so I'm excited. Tape, flake, I appreciate you guys supporting, you know what I mean? If you ever need anything special put together too, hit me up. Like most of you guys do. You don't need a certain kind of tape. Some of the kits I sell, you know, you want me to put you together a kit of like 6 of this, 7 of that, 4 of this, 2 of this. I'll do it. I'll make your own code. I'll send you the link to it. Like I say, I'm just a small fish. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I mean, I really, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you guys for supporting. It means the world. Like I say, I'm not, people think just stuff's flying out. Like I got shipments going out every day, huge. It's not, man. I got somebody, I'm blessed. You guys that support. Same thing right there. Okay. Same thing. So we got this. Now I can peel all of these back here. In fact, this can come to about right here. And I'm going to cut it off because this needs to get shaded a little bit. Let me move these out the way a little bit. Like I say, and then if you're able to use this, you know, like that, I don't like the roundness, so it might not work out good enough, but I mean, you cut your own. Same with that. It's like cut a whole bunch of different shapes just for your shading. And they sell some stuff too, where it's like got unique little curves that'll help with some of the shading. When it's these round ones, I mean, you can just use a straight line when we're doing just the straights. But these round curves, if you want it to be clean, it's worth taping up, spending the quick second to tape it up. Go right there. Same thing. And which this one I could have, I don't know what I was thinking sometimes. I could have just taped that all up inside there. Sometimes you're not thinking outside the box. You guys know how. When you're by yourself, and of course this ain't really applying to this, even though it is. But you know, if you're, let's say you're building something, let's say at home, I mean some shelves, I don't know, something, you know, you think one way, and like you're like, okay, I'm gonna do it this way. And then you got a friend that's there, and he's like, well, hey, what if you do it this way and this way? And sometimes you're just like, wow, I wish I would have thought of that. that's gonna make it so much simpler. Sometimes it takes a couple extra people to kind of you know, when you got some other people around, it's like, man, hey, you know, if you do it this way, this will work out a lot easier. So I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. I'm sure you do. Let's see, Brother Cordell, won't be long. You'll have a mixing machine in your garage. Yes, sir, my brother. And thank you too. I appreciate you, Cordell. Definitely, brother. Boom, there we go. Oh yeah, these little spots here. So same thing, I'm just gonna go right here. About right there, I'm gonna pinch that about right there. Come in with this. Let me a little bit of black right there. Okay, I think that's it for as far as patterns. And then we're gonna do the border real quick, the blessed. We'll get some clear on here. Kind of always go back to make sure you got all the tape off. Any adhesive, especially you don't even know. Last Thursday, I literally sanded all of these boards. What do you call it? Sanded them, flaked them, cleared them, baked them, re-sanded them, re-cleared them, you know, for last Thursdays. So you got to think they're breathing. They're still breathing some chemicals. You should have seen today when I took some tape off. Man, it smelled like clear when I took the tape off, just because they were fresh last week. And taping over it, you know, of course it's not leaving no tape lines, but man, I miss my car club days. Felt like Christopher. Thank you, Rob, for getting my order out quickly, man. Definitely, my brother. Like I say, I really appreciate you guys. I can't tell you enough. I'm coming back with the black. I'm gonna come along this. And then I am going to move this around this way just so I can get a little bit better this edge. Always work comfortable if you're able to. Unless you're working on a roof. Laugh out loud. Man, I can't wait to clear this. When we clear this, I'm going to turn the light up and put the light on it. Man, it is just going to pop with that holographic flake. All right. Flip this bad boy back around. Make sure that I got enough on those areas. want to link back up with my old club. Is there any Arizona peeps out on this tonight? I know my brother Richard, he's not on today. It's because there's the Arizona show this weekend. So a lot of people traveling to Arizona for the lowrider show out there. And if I'm not sure if it's Saturday or if it's Sunday. Does anybody know? I know Jerry would know. Thank you, brother Jerry. Blessed. '47 Pontiac for a member right now. Nice. That's going to be really nice. Woo! And I love those oddball. Love the oddball cars. Where there's not a whole bunch of them. Bunch of horse. Let's see what. Let's see, Rob. You know Jason Bell, Backyard Custom? Yeah, he, I follow him on Instagram. He does some clean work. Travis, did you chop the 52? Yeah, Travis, you got that black. Yours is a 52, right? I know you sent me a pic of it. You're getting ready to do the roof. I gotta tell you too, man, this, I think this is the Vivid. This is the Vivid low tack. Man, this steel is leaving glue too. The Cricut leaves glue. This still leaves a little glue, little adhesive. If anybody's got any that's somewhat affordable that you can get for the Cameo or Cricut, so definitely a little glue on there. Nope. Okay, let me shoot the border. And then we are going to clear this thing. Sal from Backyard. Yeah, 17th Saturday, yep. Now usually we go to that. I haven't been out there in a couple years. There's just so many shows right now. It is so hard. Can't afford it. It's crazy, man. By the time rooms and it's just out of hand, especially Phoenix, man. So many places, man, rooms are ridiculous.
I think Phoenix is doing the baseball too at the same time.
What now?
The same call at the same time, the routine.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And I think the show, which one is the one tomorrow? The one at the State Farm Stadium?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good. That's what I heard. That the baseball team there too. So
Wow.
get to the cousin's house.
Huh?
Get the cousin's.
Yeah, stay at the cousin's house. Yeah. Let's see here. You guys got to make it to Viva show in Vegas. When is that one, my brother Travis? Not the. You're not talking the Super Show. You're talking another show in Vegas. Thank you, my brother James. Okay, boom. Let me see here.
That almost looked like that wood came from a skateboard.
Almost,
The way
huh?
they sand it.
And there is quite a bit of adhesive on there. Pretty sad. So I'm gonna try.
Is that the one from Cricket?
Yep. Sad. Let me see here. Let me see the wax and grease over. Go low, set down. Cleaning up the adhesive. Yeah, that's crazy.
That same one we always use, or different one? The blue?
That's the blue one, but it's been leaking too. Even
Oh yeah, and the
what do you call it?
process.
The cricket one was real bad.
That'd be nice for a road king, those colors, designs.
Yeah.
Match my seat.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. Yep, Steve, glass cleaner. Yeah, this is, it's, man, it's not even, it's the adhesive. There's still some.
Sign up for clear.
Huh?
We find that one.
Yeah. Almost. What's it doing? Boom. Let me mix up some clear real quick. Thank you guys for hanging in there. Definitely. Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's that vivid one. Man, it's been leaving it. Okay. Boom. Okay. All right, tack rag it, ready to do some clear, and then we are gonna turn the lights off. The Oracle, and it didn't leave any glue. Yeah, I'm trying to think. This is the Vivid, if I'm not mistaken. The Oracle. I'm trying to think. I'll have to look that up. And that one you can get on Amazon too. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa, I'm interested. Man, you got boards flaked. Man, I'm proud of you. You got on that diving board. You got to the end and you jumped in. How's it going besides that? Have you started taping anything? Trying to figure out what you're doing? You still got a sand? I'm interested. I'm gonna get some of this stuff down. I'm gonna put a medium wet coat. Let's let that tack for a second, and then I will put a nice wet coat. Okay, from Amazon, got you. Let me see. Yeah, this is what I'm using. The Vivid. Yep, Amazon Oracle 813. I need to remember that.
813?
What color is it? Is it white? Is it blue? I'm excited. Though it was fun. Lisa finally flicked the boards and it was scary. Haha. Not taped yet. Have to sand them this weekend. Going to tape at least one board. Yeah, don't overwhelm yourself, man. Like I say, Lisa, I'm proud of you to see that you had flaked them. It looks like you did a really good job. Blue, I'll send you the link. Thanks, Brian. This is gonna look nice, man. We're gonna, like I say, we'll plug in the super bright light here. Let me let this tack just real quick. I'll shoot a coat. Man, and it figures I bought a whole bunch of this. I mean, I bought a big old roll of it. And I bought a pack that has like 100 sheets in it of this stuff. And it seemed like all the Christmas stuff, this stuff did pretty good. I don't know what the deal is. I don't think you can leave it on very long. You know, it's been on for a week. Come on, baby. Almost. Maybe we can get some magic going. Let me see. Let me wipe the lens. Yeah, I mean, that would work to at least try. Well, I got the Vivid too. It's not doing too good, she said. So I was wiping the lens. Bam. Okay, I'm gonna put a nice wet coat. I'll turn up the lights. Okay, you got that light ready? That one right here? Yep, boom, boom, boom. Boom. Okay, I'm gonna plug in this light and I'm gonna turn the light up. We tripping. It's gonna go dark for a second. Boom. Yep. Yeah, do you guys get to see some of the bevel? See the bevel? You got to see it in person. It's, like I say, man, just appreciate it, man. Yes, and that's that white too. That white really makes it pop. Hopefully you guys are getting, like, you know, I try to, as good of the, as you can get with the light, the angles. Boom. Yeah, I'm trying to look as I'm doing it too. All right, turn her back on, Rudy. I can't wait to see it in the sun. But man, I definitely want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. See what you guys got, the white pivot. Yeah, reflective look. It's kind of holographic look. Like I say, this flake you can get on the website. It's the gold holographic. I got the silver, all the different colors. Appreciate you guys. Let's go out with some prayer. Thank you guys for tuning in and staying, of course, with me. Man, you got it, man, 8, 9, 10, 11, man, 3 hours, 20 minutes. I appreciate you guys. Hey, David, I appreciate you too. Curtis, man, I appreciate you guys. Let's go out with some prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you, Lord. First and foremost, we just thank you. I want to lift up every one of my brothers and sisters on the live tonight. I lift up their families, everything they have going on, whether it be good, if they're going through a storm, going through trials, or just blessed, just like the board says. We thank you through the good. We thank you through the bad, Lord. If anybody is struggling on this website, on the live tonight, I just ask that you touch them, Lord. I want to pray for people for healing as well. I know people are just dealing with just sickness and just disabilities and things that sometimes is overwhelming, and people just need encouragement, Lord. So I just pray that you lift them up. I thank you for the friendship I have with each and every person on this live tonight. I thank you for them. I appreciate them. And we just thank you, Lord. We can do nothing without you. Absolutely nothing, Lord. Forgive us for our pride. Forgive us for our areas that we fall short, the knowing and unknowing. We lift up just the cities we live in, our families, the people we run into every day on an everyday basis. Help us, Lord, to be the light, to be an encouragement to those people. And we just give you praise, Lord. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Love you guys and God bless. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. Like I say, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Man, it really does pop. I'm going to run the light back over it a little bit more. Thank you, my brother Eldon. Definitely something different, that's for sure. See you guys next week. Appreciate you, Steve, Travis, Jerry, Eli, Orlando.